Hi, this is Joe again with another review. And to continue my reviews of Wrestlemania reviews, I'm going to be discussing um, Wrestlemania 5, The Mega Powers Explode, which was a tagline for this. They happened on April 1st, 1989, in the same place they had Wrestlemania 4 in the Trump Plaza Hotel and Casino Convention Center in Atlantic City, New Jersey. And it was the only time in WrestleMania history where they used the same venue in back-to-back years. And of course, this one was mostly centered on the main event, which was the Hogan-Randy Savage match. And it was the first time that first real time that Hogan was wrestling for the heavyweight title. When the year before they had the heavyweight tournament, he was in it, and he didn't even make it to the final match. But this one, he was actually in the main event, challenging for the heavyweight title as the challenger this time against Randy Savage. And of course, the whole thing led up a whole year. They had Hogan teaming up with Savage, for the Mega Powers. Was named a tag team. They wrestled a bunch of times as a tag team. And of course, on the main event, on a live main event show they had on Friday on NBC on Friday night, they blew up. They blew up the tag team because they had a match between the Twin Towers, who were Akeem and the Big Boss Man, and they had this event on live TV. And at one point during the match, when Savage was thrown out of the ring, he actually landed on Elizabeth, knocked her out. Hogan took her back to the first aid room for medical attention, and of course he went overboard. And, oh my God! Oh Jesus! Oh poor Elizabeth! And because Savage was left in the ring for about felt like 5-10 minutes, as Hogan was in the backstage room, and Elizabeth says, "Go out, Randy! Go out, Randy!" So he went back into the ring, and he tags and he wants to tag Savage back into the match, and Savage slaps him, and he goes back to the first aid room saying, "Whatever, Hogan, you want me in that spot right there? You want me in that spot right now?" And then of course Hogan ends up winning the match single-handed, and goes back and says, "Randy, Macho Man, Randy, Macho Man, Randy." That's it. And him, Vince McMahon and Jesse Ventura, when he announced again, says, "Hey, he's looking for Savage. He's looking for the Macho Man." And he goes in and has a big argument in the first aid room. And he said, "You lost right here. You lost right there." And then of course they got into the fight, and of course Bruce Beefcake does mess it up. The fight in the first aid room, and of course that's how main event for WrestleMania 5. We did have other matches, and they had a match with Twin Towers and Strike Force tag team broke up, and once again Taylor Santana loses the tag team match, and then started a rivalry between Rick Martel and Tino Santana, which lasted throughout pretty much the whole summer. And then you had a match between the Red Rooster versus Bobby Heenan, which happened just before the main event. You also had the tag team belts were on the line as well, and of course you also had the other good match on that call was the Ultimate Warrior versus Rick Rude, and Rick Rude beating him thanks to Bobby Heenan, beat the Ultimate Warrior in WrestleMania 5 when he lost the IC belt. Thank God, because I can't stand the Ultimate Warrior. I think it was one of the worst champs ever. All he did was his power moves and nothing else. That's all he had. And that was the first real good, decent match he had was with the one with Rick Rude. And of course he had the main event with Hogan beating Randy Savage for the belt with Elizabeth in the neutral corner. And God love it. Everyone's in WWE will put him in the Hall of Fame this year, along with Randy Savage, because I think she deserves it, frankly. And for not putting Elizabeth in the Hall of Fame this year, when Randy Savage goes in, is a disgrace. Because frankly, if you were my age back then, when you first saw Elizabeth, she helped you get through puberty. 12, 13, 14-year-old guys came through puberty. Because that's how gorgeous Elizabeth was. I mean, she could have been a model. That's how gorgeous she was. And it's a shame that she's been dead for 12 years. That she died 12 years ago. It's a real damn shame. And she would have been, like, I think, 54 this year if she was still alive. And you know, she was involved greatly in this particular storyline with Hogan and Savage, and almost any storyline that Savage had throughout most of his time in the WWF. And it's a shame that she's died. Like, a lot of people feel, a lot of people feel Lex Luger because she was with Lex Luger at the time. You know, living with him, and a lot of people felt that he killed her, which of course I don't think they hadn't even been proven anywhere. But it's a shame, really, what happened with Elizabeth and with Randy as well, and they both were no longer here. But as I look back on it, it was really a great storyline because watching Elizabeth and Hogan, and it's just a shame they're no longer here. But for WrestleMania 5, I think both the two WrestleManias that took place in the Trump Plaza Casino were really, I would say, the two most disappointing ones as I look back on it. Because you had such a big, great WrestleMania 3, and then the next two after them were pretty lousy. Well, WrestleMania 5, we did have 14 matches. And they tried to have almost as many matches as you had the year before, but a lot of the matches were good but not great. You did have one match with Andre the Giant versus Jake the Snake, with Big John Studd as a special guest referee, and did have that. That was a pretty decent deal in the match. It was Big John Studd getting his comeuppance and knocking out Andre and disqualifying him. Which was, and also did saw a rivalry with Ted DiBiase and Jake the Snake, because at one point in the match, Ted DiBiase comes down to the ring, steals Damien, and they started a rivalry with DiBiase. But as a whole thing, I thought that was a pretty decent WrestleMania 5. They're not great, but I think the two parts that really ruined the show was the Roddy Piper coming back to WrestleMania, getting involved with the brother Liv and Morgan Downey Jr. That halted the show to a stop, really, that segment. Plus the other segment was Run DMC during a WrestleMania rap. Also, to me, took a lot away from the show as well. But as the show itself, I think the main event is what really came in the show. That was one of the few WrestleManias, at least in the early years out of the first 5. WrestleMania 3, WrestleMania 5, and of course the next one, WrestleMania 6, was the ones that really had the great main event, and like, up the scale, so to speak, of how good the WrestleMania is. Instead of being like down, getting a low score, improve the score of those WrestleManias because of what the main event was, of how good the WrestleMania main event was for WrestleMania 5, and of course also the next one, and WrestleMania 6, but the Ultimate Warrior versus Hulk Hogan match. So in the review of WrestleMania 5, please click on the video, please rate it, please subscribe to my channel, and please forward this video onto your Facebook pages. And you can also look for my older videos on rallyc.com as well as on my YouTube channel. Thanks for watching, and catch you next time.